Hey guys, I just want to mention a few stuff to anyone who I would at least consider a troll, just someone who kind of knocks someone down, who deserves to be on top, who looks at media and mainstream and sees them all as being suckish, like Taylor Swift. I used to be kind of immature. I used to think everyone in the media sucked, and I still have feelings and I still have feelings to this day, but that's because I'm, you know growing older, but I've learned Taylor Swift isn't that bad. She has two concept albums, which I'm really big into the idea of it right now. The idea of a concept album. Just anyway, um, and she's good, and my sister listens to her, and that's cool because she's not bad. She's not bad. Um, and then Muse got Second Law, and then Three Days Grace, Transit of Venus. Um, Basically, they they were known for not being the best. They're not the best. Well, you have like Transit of Venus. It's not the best of their albums, but for what they were going for, then it was good enough, and that's all that mattered. But yeah, they're not known for being the best because they're kind of being the best albums by them, but they're known for being, I guess, good bands because they have other songs that people know them for and people kind of expect out of them, and it's just people kind of expect things out of musicians, and I want to be a musician. I have songs. I am into music. I have a great love for music, and basically helping people out, and just subscribe if you want to. If you just came here because you wanted to see someone's random rant on music and his ADHD qualities, like right now, and I always fear, this song that I think is really good could be horrible in someone else's eyes. They may not like it. That's the case. It could be the same way on some I listen to Serious Octane, and some people's songs. It could be the case with the same stuff that I kind of write, or just I don't know, the same case, like they're trying to get their stuff out there, or they have an idea for some stuff, and I don't like it necessarily, and that could be you know the same thing for someone else if I were to send off my song, um, and whatnot, and have it be played, and someone may not like it, but I always fear, with someone not like an album, especially even one that I had an idea of, and even though I already established a sound that people, unfortunately, I'd like to say that, like, expect out of me. Would people not like another album because maybe it sounds like I would not, like, the Second Law. Now I've been getting into Muse, like or I have the Transit of Venus album over there, and it's not bad. I'll listen to it, but yeah, Chalk Outline's not bad to me. But in the Second Law, I got that. It's not bad, but I've been getting into like Origin of Symmetry, and I've been into them for a while. But yeah, like stuff like, people just expect stuff out of you, so they think it sucks. I mean, it could be, they could have a few points, but some people just expect too much, like every little bit. Like, even if, what if I have one album, I come out with another album, in only a matter of time, and people don't like it. They're like, this is not the best work for you because it sounds blah blah blah, or it doesn't sound like your first band. Anyway, I would fear that, and because people are just, the music world could be tough. You get bullied all your life. And then you're kind of, living a normal office. I guess like what I like to call it, office living, or just I'll probably never called it that in my life, but like business, like office type business, like like having a normal life that's not at all involved with making content for someone to enjoy, and being pressured on that. Like, they usually kind of snap out of bullying. They know that it was because of their own insecurities or whatever, and that's kind of how I would want to be. Still, maybe because obviously I'm still developing, and eventually grow into just being more accepting. But I mean, like, you know, and then you get into the music world, and it's tough because you have fans who don't appreciate, stuff that you made, and attempts that you've made to step up, because they've seen other stuff. I'm not really sure how it works, and maybe I'm just kind of stepping in toward the musician side, because I've always kind of had a soft spot in a way for new stuff, or something new that someone's trying. But yeah, I've kind of rambled on. But yeah, I would not want to have to fear that. I said too many times. There's something. Ugh. But yeah, and then also you have, so make sure you look at bands before you say they suck. Just that's why I would hate to say someone sucks and then feel bad about listening to it in my own mind, personally, for no reason, because I said that band sucks, or your music sucks, or someone else, or your taste in music sucks, which really makes no sense, it's better to be friends in this world than enemies, and you're enemies with them because usually become enemies with someone because you just don't understand them, and but yeah, and then you got the whole thing about Canadian bands. Listen, I would be having a band. I would be influenced by many Canadian bands. Yes, it's a Rugrats pedal back there. I had it since I was younger, and whatever works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just like your style. Anyway, but yeah, there's this thing. People think Canadian bands suck, or if someone's from Canada and they have a band that sucks or whatever, that they suck. Like, some people think that about 3 Days Grace, and just, I think it's ridiculous. And I think that kind of influences a lot of the hate from Nickelback, to tell you the truth. I used to actually like Nickelback. Yeah, I used to like Nickelback, like, years ago. I have the All the Right Reasons CD. I used How You Remind Me wasn't bad, and I used to probably listen to was that something else? Theory of a Dead Man. I knew them back. Anyway, but yeah, people just get this idea that all Canadian bands suck, and sure, some of Nickelback's newer stuff, it doesn't sound as great, and it sounds forced, and I didn't really like it. It kind of made me feel awkward listening to it, like, and I'd probably turn it off. I wouldn't choose to listen to it, but it doesn't mean that they suck. It doesn't really mean anything. 2 Days Grace is a really good band. Art of Dying is another Canadian band. They're amazing. They are amazing, for what they are in the music world, and I've heard them on Octane when I saw them live. They're great. They're excellent. They know their stuff. They have, they know how to sing. They know how to play the they know how to play the instruments, and actually, the post-grunge genre, which kind of originated in Western Canada. I'm not from Canada. I'm from the U.S., the United States of America, as in part of the American continent area over here on the Western Hemisphere. I'm not really sure of that, and I don't really care. All I know is I'm living, and that's it. But yeah, anyway, and post-grunge is actually, that genre, because I want to start a band, I share with a lot of post-grunge with my band members if they haven't heard of it already, like 3 Days Grace, like 3 Days Grace. I was about to say Bullet for My Valentine because I'd probably, they'd probably be an influence on the band too. But yeah, bands like 3 Days Grace, because they sound good, would be an influence to, hopefully be an influence to the band, and, I like it. I have all their albums, so, yeah, that's sweet. Physical copies, too, so not just people today buy or use digital copies. Stay on track. Anyway, so, point of that part of this video of Canadian bands and suckage, or the correlation between them and bands that suck, or, that's just it doesn't mean anything. It's what the person, it's what the individual thinks. And you'll hear that mentioned later. I probably said that too early. I'm just speaking my mind. But yeah. And then thirdly, I'm not even really sure if that's a word, but yeah. People, some song ideas, like I guess songs about politics could probably be the same. Love songs, especially, could be a little bit cliche, and there are some songs that are about sex in the post-grunge world that seem like, too many songs about that, but it's about, since every person, despite, and, being influenced by a band, and despite being influenced by a certain band, this is turning into the length of one of my vlogs. But yeah, I hope some of you guys can at least watch this. So yeah. Despite that, every band has their own, has a songwriter that has a taste, that has their own taste in songwriting, that has their own style of songwriting. That's what I was trying to get at. And it's, the band's own take. If I were to write about, I would try to get into other stuff, like other, meanings and whatnot, song meanings, I try to make sure it's kind of like my own style and, whatnot. So yeah, it's about the individual style that makes a song about love, about breaking up, about getting back together, a good song. And if it's too cookie cutter, I guess you would call it that, that's kind of what makes a bad song, I guess, because it's not original. Like, if there are some songs that are just like Purple by Pop Evil, I guess, is about the departure of a relationship or breaking up or something like that. It's their own take. It's great. So yeah, it's about the individual taste. It's like how even the simplest things, even the most simplistic things in a song can really, set a band apart. And, the stuff that they use, how they write, which everyone has their different writing styles. I was influenced by, other bands. So yeah. Yeah, but for how many ever times, it's, the band's individual style, the songwriter's individual style, so, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to wrap this up. This is my rant on music, and, rant on music and trolls, today. Not all music sucks, and once you get your heads out of your asses, you'll probably see that exact point. Not all bands suck. Not all songs today suck. I hate seeing that in the comments, and that's one of the most common things to see in the comments. Sure, it may be a good song, and I'd probably associate it with being a good song in my taste, and as the case with other people, and they go by the song's amazing a lot. But in the end, it's what the individual thinks then that makes it. And it will be the case with people who like my music, just as long as you have fans. They go back as fans. They have people who show up to their shows, despite what other people think. Those people like their songs. They might come up there. In the end, the trolls' comments never matter. They make hardly any sense, but most of the time. But some of the weird trolls. But it's just going onto a page and saying you suck or disliking it or something like that is not really going to show anything. It shouldn't discourage anyone. If you dislike this video, then shame on you. Shame on you. For shame on you. For shame. And if you guys want to go see better videos coming to that channel in the future, go subscribe to this. I'm used to being up there. Now, but yeah, subscribe down there. Make sure you do that, and subscribe to Brendan Vlogs for you. Anyway, they'll be down there. So yeah, just wanted to talk about this. It's 15 minutes. It's longer than any of my vlogs I've ever been. So yeah, I just wanted to get it out there, and yeah.